Hello, I'm Maria Hall Brown, and this is LA Currents. A beautiful afternoon in the city of Los Angeles. Makes you want to kind of get out and explore. Well, there's a couple people here this afternoon that will tell you where you should go and how you can enjoy it. I'm delighted to be joined by Adam Burke and Doane Liu. The outlook is really good for travel and tourism. I mean, here we are, we're excited about being out, but the pandemic really kind of shook the foundation of the entire industry, didn't it, Adam?
So while certainly we're going to have a long road ahead of us, there's every reason to be optimistic about what the rest of this year is going to look like. But to your question, absolutely. If you look back to 2019, before the pandemic, travel and tourism had become the fourth largest employment sector in LA County. In fact, we had over 544,000 Angelenos who were employed in tourism-related careers. Beyond that, visitors to Los Angeles spent $26 billion in our local businesses. And even in terms of what it did for residents of LA, because guests staying in hotels pay a transient occupancy tax, a hotel tax, that contributed over $315 million to the city's general fund, supporting essential services like streets and sanitation, fire, arts and cultural programming. So if you look back at 2020, it's impossible to overstate just how devastating it was for our industry. But honestly, Maria, the thing that I find most heartbreaking about it is, in our sector, we saw job losses of 1 in 3.
Oh no. So
that's about 165,000 Angelenos who were displaced during the pandemic.
That is then, now we need to kind of, as you said, look forward. What's happening when it comes to LA tourism that is giving both of you a reason to be a little bit more optimistic?
Recently we've heard that almost 75% of people have travel plans for this summer, and so we know that the LA area is one of the places they want to visit, and we're going to do what we can to make sure that they're welcome here.
I'm creating a mythical family that lives in the Midwest somewhere that's going to come out and visit you, and you're going to get them for 4 days. Where are you taking them?
The first place everyone wants to go is the beach.
Right.
So we'll make sure we stop at the beach. I personally love the hiking trail behind the Griffith Observatory. I would probably sneak into Koreatown, where we can get some great food. And lastly, I got to take them to my hometown within the city of LA, and that's San Pedro.
All right, your turn.
My turn, same question. So in the valley, I would go visit the Japanese gardens. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm a big Harry Potter fan, as are our kids, so I'd probably go to Universal Studios Hollywood. You know, you've got to go to, Venice or Hermosa or one of the beach communities. And then, I'd probably land here in downtown and take them to a Kings game at Staples.
So are we ready? I mean, what's happening in the city that makes you feel, okay, we're ready, everybody can come on back?
That's a great question. I think, one of the things that LA County has really done right, the city, the county, and the state for that matter, is really led with health and safety. One of the things I've heard some people say is that somehow economic recovery and health and safety are at odds with each other, and I couldn't disagree more. I think the way we have a sustainable reopening of our economy is to lead with health and safety. So I really want to thank Dr. Barbara Ferrer and the team at LA County Health. One of the things I think was a brilliant idea, and they did this early on in the pandemic, was they formed the LA County Economic Resiliency Task Force. And what they did is they basically said they certainly understand the science of how to mitigate the spread of COVID. But they were the first to say we don't necessarily understand each specific industry sector. So they partnered with over a dozen different industry verticals to say, all right, let's say you're in the hotel and restaurant category. You know how to put together protocols that you can safely implement and that will create a positive guest experience. Why don't you as industry leaders develop those protocols, bring them to public health, and then we'll vet them against the science.
And that was really a good, the result of being thoughtful and deliberate. I know it was painful for a lot of people to have their businesses affected the way they are, but it's proven that we've come back strong, and we're coming back earlier than many regions in the state.
Let's talk right now. Obviously things are opening up, and as we sit here next to the Broad, a lot of our cultural institutions are opening up. What exactly is the plan to promote tourism back to Los Angeles again? Who are you reaching at this moment in time? Are you trying to keep it more domestic? Are you actually looking at our overseas friends? Or, you know, or we're just really kind of trying to celebrate Los Angeles to the people who are within driving distance?
That's a great plan for that.
Okay.
Yes, so I guess the first thing I would say is you referenced again, you know, these incredible arts and cultural attractions. One of kind of the hidden secrets about LA that most people don't know, we actually have more museums per capita than any city in the U.S.
I know, I read that on your, I was like, what?
You know, if you were to ask people where you think that would be, LA probably wouldn't be on the top of their mind, but actually, between our museums and performing arts venues, we've got the most robust cultural scene in the country. So I think that's a huge testament to the Broad and Eli Broad's vision. But in terms of recovery, it's really been flipped on its head. So historically, we've been really focused on the international markets because candidly, they're the most lucrative. If you think about international visitors, they come and stay the longest and they spend the most. So that's one of the reasons why Los Angeles is actually the only destination in the country that has our own offices and full-time team members in 7 international locations, because that international business is critical. In fact, an international visitor spends about 2.5 times what a domestic traveler will. But during the pandemic, it had to start closer to home. So the first thing we did is we launched a program called LA Love. You know, we'd love to make it easier and more affordable for Angelenos to get out and safely explore their backyard. So we had over 100 special offers that were designed by Angelenos for Angelenos. Now, if you fast forward to where we are today, we're back in the market advertising not just to drive markets, but for the first time since the pandemic, our domestic flight markets, because we're seeing a strong return there as well.
Los Angeles is a movie. The lighting is perfect. Soundtrack. It's just right. Costumes are incredible. The sets are amazing. Everyone's here, ready for the next scene. LA is a movie. It's a musical.
Es un musical.
It's a comedy.
It's a romance.
It's a sci-fi movie.
It's an action movie.
It's a comeback story.
It's a comeback story.
It's a comeback story.
It's a comeback story.
It's a comeback story. Un regreso.
It's a comeback story.
Nah, hold up. It's your comeback story.
It's a national campaign that's really emotive and effective, and it's really going to bring a lot of people here to Los Angeles.
What's it called?
Start your comeback.
Start your comeback. And actually, that's kind of the theme. I mean, after the year we've all had, particularly because, you know, LA is the entertainment capital of the world. Everybody loves a good comeback story. And for us, 21 is the year of LA's comeback. It's time for us all to, you know, safely get out and explore our community again.
You were in your position just a couple years before COVID hit. It must have really been a bit of a shakeup in regards to what you were able to do during 2020. But what are some of the things you put on the table in 2020 that you can't wait to, you know, bring back into the priority role?
Well, that's a perfect segue into what we call the Tourism Master Plan.
Ooh,
so
cool.
it's a project that we undertook, actually when the department was formed 5 years ago. One of the charges was to develop a strategic plan for the tourism industry and for tourism as a whole within the city of Los Angeles. And what it does is really take a head-to-toe assessment of every tourism asset that the city has, and really looks at what it's going to take to enhance those assets, what assets we need to grow in the future, and what we need to do as a city, and that's everybody in the city government, from our little tourism department to the police department to the planning department to DOT. What are the things we need to do as a city to prepare ourselves for the inevitable increase in tourism that's coming after this pandemic is over?
Absolutely. Adam Doane, thanks so much.
Thank you, Maria.
Thanks for having us, Maria.
And that's a wrap on this LA Currents.